So this is a networking overview. We talked about the cable types that makes the network, and now we are going to say like what is a network, what is a subnet, node, host, or what are the media that we talk about the media already, and network interfaces, protocols, what is peer-to-peer client servers, and PAN, WAN, LAN, VMN, WAN, internetwork, internet, intranet, and all those keywords. So now let's look at the computers. Every device that you connect, we call that as a node. And connecting media is like the cables and the wires and the air, the Wi-Fi. So what the networking interface is where you connect the interface that allows you to connect to the network. So now we call this is a network, and we use a wire that each computer is connected to each other, and then also each computer is connected to their computer. And you could also use why do you use networking? Is to share resources. You see, if you have a network, you don't want to use each person a printer. You could share the resources. So you could have one hard drive, and then you share, every computer shares that hard drive. The benefit is file sharing, email, instant messaging, social media, workflow, websites, webcast. Now we are going to talk about the peer-to-peer and client server. Now peer-to-peer, again, you need to have a medium to connect to a network. So you use either the wired connection to each other, or you could use the wireless medium to connect to each other. So the peer-to-peer means that you are managing your own computer and you share resources. So at home, when you have a home network, you don't have a server that manages the network. All of you are connected through a router, a medium, and then you can share your printer, you can share your drive. It's easy to implement. It's very inexpensive. And the disadvantage is you cannot scale it. You can it's when it has an error, you have to find the error, and it's really hard to support all the users. Client server benefit is we have a server like a school network, and the server manages everyone, and everyone uses that server to connect to the resources. Again, as we have all home addresses, there's a street that we go to our homes. So these streets are the network medium, like the cables that connect to us, and the address is where you are actually located. So in this term, as you have a home address, every computer has an IP address. An IP address enables you to be found on the internet. And again, the same, if you make the analogy, you need to have the exact street and the street address with the zip code, and same for the IP addresses needs to have their own. So you have two IP addresses that are similar, but then when they not they cannot reach each other, they use a medium like a router to connect to each other. So same for this, you need a mailing service to transfer your information. Networking terms, again, we have wireless area network, which is called the internet between network of networks, and MAN is metropolitan area network, like a city, and LAN is local area network, and we have a PAN, personal area network. How do you connect to internet? Everyone knows that we need to buy an internet service through an ISP, internet service provider. And this internet service provider brings you the medium. If you are buying a fiber, they need to install the fiber cables. If you are buying a coax, you buy or DSL, they needs to be installed to your home physically by your ISP, and you pay for this service. And inside this home, you create your own local network that uses a router and or wireless access or a switch to connect to and share that network connection to outside. again, intranet is the network inside the school, and extranet is our school connecting to the world. Network topologies, we have a physical and a logical topology. Now, the physical topology is where you are physically building the wires, and that is starts with token ring, and you physically connect three homes, as you see, from to each other. We call this as a ring network. This house is connected to here, and then this one to here, and there's a rotation in the topology. So if there's only, you could only send from C to B, B to A, and A to D. So in case of a node failure, everyone's connection is canceled. And there is a bus topology where you are going to, again, physically install one wire, and everyone has to connect to this wire, and these ends needs to be terminated. And in case of this wire or so if in case of this users to be disconnected, it doesn't affect. But in case of there's a wire between these two to be cut, then the whole system gets terminated. So what is the solution? They offered star connection. Star topology, you have a center like a router to manage the network. So in case of these nodes to fail, this will not affect your system. So you can still talk to the router, and then router will look for CNA. In case of CNA is disconnected, router will inform that B that they are disconnected. And again, after Pearl Harbor, United States, so that this is vulnerable. So if you want to cancel the network, if you remove the router, that will disable all the networks. So in order to give everyone a chance to communicate in case of a failure, mesh network peer-to-peer is established. So in peer-to-peer, you connect, if there's 4 computers n-1, so each computer needs to have 3 links to all. And in this one, everyone is connected to each. So in case of